like for a little brighter, I tap dance for you both.
Bella, I'm so cold and tired.
I know, Annika. She must keep up. Now, almost in the city, and then we will be safe. But it's so dark. And you missed. It's so hard to see.
Quiet, everyone. Do you hear that?
Something singing. It sounds like an angel singing.
Probably just some drunk.
Or maybe her.
Mother, you're back.
Monica, maybe it is her. Mother? Come to me, Bella. I missed you.
Oh, Mother, I missed you.
Veronica, my brave girl. Come to Mommy.
It's not Mother. It's something else. Mother's dead.
No, Veronica, don't you see? Can't you see her face? It's Mother.
No, leave them be. No, please leave them be. It's not Mother. Please come back. It's not Mother. Please leave them be. Please. It's not Mother. Please.
Renfield! Renfield! Where are you? Lame an idiot, where are you this time? Spent my life looking for lost loonies. Renfield! Every time the moon is full, she disappears. Renfield!
May I take you home, sirs? Will there be anything else?
Yes, actually. Could you call for Dr. Seward and go over our arrival? And then Dr. Robertson meet us here in the study.
Yes, sir.
Sherry, old boy.
No, thank you. When did you arrive?
Not long before you. I left New York as soon as I heard about Cousin Lucy. Dreadful business, Jonathan. Dreadful business indeed.
Yes. Lucy and Nina were several of those during Lucy's last days.
Yes, and I mean it's showing the same symptoms. Are you sure you won't have that drink? This business has an edge.
Mr. Jonathan, it's so good to have you back. And Mr. Philip, I'm so sorry. Lucy was such a lovely child.
Yes, thank you for saying so, Mrs. Robertson. She was always so fond of you, as am I.
How is Miss Nina feeling today?
She has her good days and bad days, but it's the good doctor I'm worried about. He's barely slept since Miss Nina took ill, and just yesterday he gave blood from his own veins. The loss has left him quite weak.
Jonathan, Philip, oh, please sit down. I'm sorry I wasn't here to greet you when you first arrived. You must be exhausted from your journeys. Philip, we are all grieving for poor Lucy. I want to assure you we did everything possible.
Yes, I'm sure you did, Dr. Seward, but for now we must concern ourselves with the living. How is Miss Nina?
Yes, doctor, please tell me she's feeling better.
If only I could, but it seems her condition is worsening. I've given her many transfusions, and after each she seems to rally, only to succumb by morning again to this strange disease.
I recall Lucy and Nina were several during Lucy's last days. They could never be seen apart. Do you think it's something contagious?
Well, that thought had crossed my mind, Jonathan. I consulted with local doctors and colleagues from London by wire, but nobody seems to have any answers.
Could this be the outbreak of some sort of outbreak like cholera or plague?
I just don't know. Well, what are these words? Gentlemen, that's why I asked you to be here. I contacted my close friend, Professor Ludwig van Helsing in Holland. He is an eminent authority on rare diseases. If anyone can find a cure for this illness, he can. That's why I wanted you both here, so you can hear for yourselves if there's any hope.
Did you hear that earlier? Those dogs barking sounded like the howls of terror.
Yes, and again, we heard the same howls the night Lucy fell ill.
I didn't know any better. I'd say it sounded like howling of wolves, not dogs.
But I doubt that you'll find any wolves in this part of the country anymore. However, a wolf did go missing in the zoo not too long ago, but it returned of its own accord.
Well, whatever it is, I do wish it would stop. By the way, I noticed the lighthouse over at Carfax Avenue. Is someone living there now?
Yes, a Transylvanian count named Dracula. My agent said it was a rental for him.
Yes, your friend the Count has been a regular visitor here as of late.
I assure you, Doctor, he is no friend of mine.
Well, that may be, but his concern for Lucy is comforting. He knows we've all given our blood for her, and he's offered to do the same too, if need be.
Perhaps I misjudged him. Anyone that would be willing to help me.
It's a bad omen. Dogs howling like that. It means death. Doctor, Mrs. Robinson sent me to tell you that your guest has arrived. And Mr. Van Helsing, she said you were expecting me. She sent him right up.
Yes, thank you, Miss Winston. That will be all, but please stay close in case we need something.
Are you sure that this professor can help me?
He is our last and only hope, Jonathan.
Professor Van Helsing, Doctor.
My old friend, you've answered my distress call. It's good of you to have come so quickly.
My dear friend, look at you. The years fare you well. Out of that a little pale, perhaps. You look as you did 20 years ago.
Well, thank you, Professor. The paleness is, I'm afraid, from the many transfusions given to poor Nina.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I would like to get to see her right away. Can you bring her to me, please?
Of course. May I introduce Mr. Jonathan Harker? He is Nina's suitor, and the other gentleman is his friend, Philip Appleby. He was Lucy's cousin.
The first girl. Ah, yes, were you here when she succumbed to this malady?
No, I arrived just today.
Pity. Mr. Harker, would you be so kind as to go with Mrs. Robinson and bring Miss Nina to me? And Mr. Appletree.
It's Appleby. Philip Appleby.
Yes, Mr. Appleby, if it would not be too much trouble, would you please see the equipment that I brought in my carriage? It's very delicate. Would you mind supervising the transfer of said equipment from my carriage to my room?
Oh, so nice.
Thank you very much, thank you. And do take your time. It's very delicate equipment, yes?
Okay.
Good, thank you. Here I go. Now, Doctor, please tell me about Lucy and leave nothing else.
Well, Lucy was my daughter's best friend, her cousin. She came to visit us about 3 weeks ago, and a few days after arriving, she began to feel ill. We thought perhaps she'd picked up a flu while traveling.
Symptoms.
She had a light fever, some general malaise, some mild stomach cramping, exactly the sort of thing you'd expect when returning from a holiday abroad. Thought nothing of it. I prescribed fluids, bed rest, and a short bed would pass.
Yes, I would have done the same, so please go on.
As well as the days went on, she became weaker and weaker. We suspected anemia, so we started giving her blood transfusions, and she did seem to rally, but by morning she was weakening. I contacted every colleague I had, tested for everything I could think of, but nothing. That's when I contacted you.
Oh, and it's a good thing you did. Now, please tell me how she died. The process.
Her condition continued to decline. She started to complain of nightmares and delirium and photophobia during the day. Yes. A few days ago, 5 days to be precise, in the morning we found her. She was unwakeful, breathing but barely. That night she died.
tell me, on your inspection, did you find any marks upon her body?
No. Well, that is to say, I did not inspect her whole.
Of course you did not. You're British. Such a thing would not be proper, even though you're a doctor of science and medicine. No worries. I shall inspect the body myself in the morning.
Actually, she did have a series of small bites along her neck and wrists. Red dots with white centers, like that of a bee or some other insect. I did test for parasite-borne illnesses, but I found nothing.
I think you'll find there is no test for the parasite we are facing.
So you know what's causing this. You can save me now.
I have my suspicions, but I must complete my investigations first. Patience, my friend, patience. Now please, tell me about Nina's symptoms.
The same. And this morning she complained of night terrors. Oh, please, Van Helsing, I fear time is running out for my daughter. Renfield, out again. You know you must stay within the confines of the sanitarium.
Who is this person?
Please, forgive the intrusion, Professor. This is R.M. Renfield, a patient. Actually, it's a fascinating study. See, Renfield has been up till now a harmless creature, but she's a zoophage. That is, she's a life-eating maniac. Yes, Renfield believes that by consuming living things, she will prolong her ill life.
Fascinating.
Yes, she began by eating flies. Then she started feeding the flies to spiders, and when the spiders become plump enough, she feeds them to sparrows. And I believe she'll begin to eat them soon enough.
This you call harmless?
We are keeping a close eye on her.
Clear. Thank you.
I'm sorry, sir. We've been searching for her for the last hour. Come on here. Nothing goes.
You were listening. Did you hear everything we said?
Of course I did. But Dr. Stewart, you have not introduced me to your guest.
Of course. This is Professor Ludwig Van Helsing. He is an expert on rare diseases and he is here to help my Dr. Nina. Professor Van Helsing, R.M. Renfield.
Such an eminent authority! Perhaps you can cure me as well. Even Dr. Stewart doesn't understand me.
If you do that again, I'll take away your spiders as well.
What do I care, Doctor? My tastes are changing. Soon I'll have no need for flies and spiders. But please, Doctor, if I am good and I behave myself, can I have a kitten? A cute little kitten. I can feed it my sparrows. And then when it has grown nice and fat.
That's enough! Stephanie, take this lunatic back to herself. And this time, double change the course.
Wait, Renfield. Why must you eat live things?
How can you ask such a question? Each insect and animal I eat affords me a greater power. Soon I'll be able to fly like a sparrow, walk over walls like a spider, have the cunning of a cat, fast and deceptive. But please, Doctor,
here.
Renfield!
Professor, are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine.
I must apologize for that maniac's outburst. What was it that you were holding that excited her so?
And just a small clove of garlic. Garlic? Yes, it's one of the aromathites with special qualities of its own. I brought it as a form of preventive medicine. I would very much like to see that Renfield's file. Her reaction to the garlic was most interesting. Doctor, what can you tell me about her case?
Well, as I said before, she's been mostly harmless up until now, unless you're a flying bird. But lately she has been escaping and lashing out at her keepers. She can be found wandering around Carfax Abbey, muttering to herself and hunting for spiders. But Professor, it's my daughter's life I care about, not some addle-minded lunatic.
Oh, my dear friend, I have not forgotten why I'm here, but this could all be connected. So please indulge me and show me her file.
Very well, Professor, it's in my office.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. My mind is so confused. I'm so very pleased you are here, and yet something inside me fears for your safety. You mustn't stay here, John. Your life is in danger.
I love you, but it's you that I worry about. I could never leave you with Sonia.
I love you too.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry, John. I'm just so very tired.
Nina, like
Hello, Father.
Nina. This is my old friend, Professor Ludwig van Helsing. He's here to help you.
Hello, Professor. How kind of you to come.
Miss Nina, such a beauty. A little pale, perhaps. But all Van Helsing, you'll see the blush return to your cheeks in no time. Now please lie down and tell me. Your father says when you first became ill, you started to have dreams. Could you tell me about them, please?
Yes, Professor. A few nights after I started feeling ill, I had the first one. I remember the dogs were barking before I went to sleep, and during my dream, mist floated in through the open window. I remember seeing through the mist.
What did you see, Quran?
Two glowing red eyes and a ghostly white face staring down at me. It was terrifying. The next morning, my maid could hardly wake me. I felt so weak.
Have you had such dreams again?
Yes, and always the same. Those glowing red eyes in the mist. Almost as if I was not dreaming at all.
Tell me, Miss Nina, how long have you had these marks upon your throat?
Since the first night. I'm so sorry, Father. I know Lucy had those same marks, and so I hit them with a scarf. I didn't want to worry you.
There, my child. Van Helsing will see these dreams trouble you no further.
Contract room.
Ah, Miss Nina. Why, you are looking more like yourself this evening. How very beautiful you are, madame.
Thank you, Count. I do look forward to your visits. They tend to cheer me so.
And I am honored to be your guest. And that of the great doctor. I trust I'm not interrupting your consultation.
Not at all, Count. May I introduce my old friend and colleague, Professor Ludwig van Helsing?
Ah, yes, Van Helsing. The master of medicine. the conqueror of the incurable, a most distinguished scientist, a name we have even heard of in the wilds of Transylvania.
I'm flattered you have heard of me, Count.
And of course you know Mr. Hart.
Yes, Chuck.
I believe you mean Mrs. Seward's fiance, Dr. Seward. This place is a rabbit warren. I got horribly turned around. And you must be the Count everyone is talking about. Well, about it.
I'm afraid it is not my custom to shake hands, Mr. Apple Tree.
Apple B. Why is it that these foreigners can never get the name right?
I am always so glad to see you, Count. Please, you really must visit more often.
Hey, I will.
Miss Dexter,
Yes, sir.
please take Miss Nina back upstairs and do not leave her unattended. Miss Nina, your maid will take you back to your room. Van Helsing will see no harm comes to you. She'll stay with you. I shall speak with your father now, Miss Nina. Miss Dexter, if you will.